city of mine.
Hi guys, in today's video I am going to be grounding my bed and I'm going to be manually doing it. So if you are interested in how to ground your bed, go ahead and watch this video because I'm going to show you how it's done, or at least how I did it, the easy way. So I have some copper wire, but it's like, that's the kind of like a larger one. I don't know how to explain it, but I saw there were copper rods that you could use, but the ones I saw in Home Depot were like 6 to 8 feet. I really didn't need one that long or that thick. So I ended up getting this, which worked just fine. I'm gonna put this about 2 feet into the earth and then leave some sticking up so that I can wrap my copper wire in it and run it to my bed. So I have that. And then I have 40 feet of copper wire. Here we are. And then I have some metal tape right here. And some electrical tape. So I'm gonna leave all this linked down below. I got all this stuff from Home Depot. So let's go ahead and get started. So here is my bed. I've taken the sheet off. My window is right there. We're gonna run it through this window outside. So we're gonna go outside and get started. So now I am going to put the copper wire into the ground. Initially, I started putting the copper wire in just with my hands, and I tried to shove it down, but I ended up running into some complications. Later, I found out it's because I had a lot of rock where I was digging, so that was part of the problem. So at that point, I got a shovel and I began to dig. I only put my copper wire in 2 feet into the ground, so I didn't necessarily measure 2 feet exactly, but I knew what roughly 2 feet was, and that's how much I dug. After I got it dug as deep as I wanted it to, I go ahead and put the copper wire into the ground. I did put it in point first, so I put the point directly into the ground. I pushed it in as much as I could. The amount of copper wire I had was actually a little bit larger than 2 feet, and I didn't want too much sticking out, so as you can see, I'm kind of bending and folding the copper in to put more under the ground. So you see how much I have left at the top. I'd say about 6 inches at the top, just like that. Then obviously I start to cover up the copper wire back with the dirt that I dug out. So now I am just completely covering the hole that I made. I'm going to pack it in nice and tight because I don't want this to be dug up or anything. Now I am going to take the actual wire, the copper wire, and I am going to wrap it around the extra 6 inches of pole that I have from beneath the earth. So initially, as you can see, I just put a piece and then I taped that piece really snug. That way I was just able to continuously wrap and wrap and wrap the rest of this, not the rest of it, but some copper wire around this pole here. This is what it looks like after I got it wrapped around as much as I wanted it to be wrapped around. Next, I'm going to put a piece of the electrical tape here at the top just to make sure it's nice and snug and that it doesn't come unwrapped. I am then going to proceed with the electrical tape and do this to the entire pole and wrap it all the way down, just because when it rains or snows or something, I don't want it to get messed up. Now that I've completed that part, I am going to unravel the wire and put it through the window so that we may start attaching it to the bed and making our little grid. Also, I'm going to use the electrical tape to tape this down the side of the house. And then when I go inside, I'm going to do the same thing. The wire that I have coming through the window, I'm going to go ahead and tape that to the wall using the electrical tape as well. I'm also going to put the tape down to the wire on the floor that is leading up to the bed, the same way I taped it onto the side of the house and the inside of the window. Now it's time to actually put the copper wire onto the mattress. At the beginning of this video, I told you guys I had 40 feet of copper wire. I ended up having to go back to the store and get 30 more feet. And now that I think about it, I actually wish I would have just straight up got like 100 feet. But I just wanted to let you guys know that I got some more. Depending on how you're going to wire your bed or how much grids you're going to do, whatever, you're going to want at least, I'd say at least 80 feet. And depending on how far your bed is away from the window or whatever, go ahead and get more as needed. So now as I'm starting the process, I just want to let you guys know I did not do my grid in any specific type of way, just because I am who I am and I didn't want that pressure. Some people do it up and down in particularly straight lines and horizontally in particularly straight lines. All I did was make sure I got majority of the bed covered, going zigzags, diagonal, whichever way, just so no matter where you lay on the bed, whether vertically, horizontally, or even diagonally, you will be touching the grounded wire or whatever in some way, shape, or form. So again, if you want to create some special grid, go on, but I did the grid however I pleased, and I was still very pleased with the results after getting my bed grounded and sleeping through the night with it. So this completes the process. After this, you can go ahead and put your sheet on as you normally would. As far as maintenance, occasionally this tape will need to be replaced. It won't stick forever, so that will be the usual maintenance you'll have to do, is probably retaping the tape as it comes unstuck or whatever. But for the most part, there is no other maintenance unless something for whatever happens to your grounding copper outside and you need to reposition it or put it back in the ground, whatever. But the point is, there shouldn't be much maintenance at all with this other than just having to replace the metal tape. So that is all. That is how I officially got my bed grounded. It has now been 2 weeks upon having this done, and I will tell you guys, I do feel a significant difference, definitely in the sleep quality. And this was also kid tested because I still have toddlers, and a lot of the times my toddlers crawl into bed with me because they usually wake up in the middle of the night. I put my 2-year-old in this bed and he literally slept from 6 p.m. to about 5 o'clock a.m. the next morning, and that is unheard of. So I know that the grounding is definitely working for them too. I eventually plan to ground all the beds in my home. Thank you guys for watching.